What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review of a new Netflix movie from Germany called The Privilege. And you might want to check it out. So The Privilege just came out on Netflix. They've been doing a pretty strong push for some more horror-centric type stuff. I think in some way to compete with Shudder, which has pretty much cornered the market on streaming for the most part, other than Tubi. But yeah, this is a German TV movie. I'm not sure if that's just what they call stuff on Netflix now, because I tend to see that when it comes to Netflix for some reason. But this movie was written and directed by Felix Wusteiner and Katrina Schode. I hope I'm saying that properly. They are the team behind the Ruby Red series, which is sort of a teen time travel movie that turned into a franchise. They have Ruby Red, Sapphire Blue, and Emerald Green. I've not seen any of these. I'm just finding this out now. But they are the ones that worked on this movie with the additional help of Sebastian Niemann and Eckhard Vollmar, who both worked on this to write the entire movie. And there's a lot going on. So what is The Privilege about? Well, it's about these kids who go to an elite school. They are very rich and they are pampered pretty much their entire lives. And at this elite private school, they sort of uncover this dark conspiracy while looking into a series of strange supernatural and physical events, which it's pretty interesting. Now, there is some things about this movie that I wasn't too fond of that didn't push it into the amazing category for me, and that is probably going to be with some of the CGI. But it is not overdone. There is moments where it is. There was a moment in the film that they used CGI that really creeped me out. Like, it's not a creepy movie, but there is some of that tension there and some of that thrill as this sort of story unwinds. It involves a certain type of fungus and religion, and it kind of is batshit crazy all over the place. But it kind of felt like a movie, like something along the lines of The Faculty meets some sort of religious horror movie. That's about all I can really hint at, because it's difficult to explain. This kid, he grows up with a tragedy that happened to one of his family members, and things get spun out of control, and he's always sort of remembered it. And meanwhile, this whole school of elite kids are taking this certain something that their doctors keep giving him, and things get really out of fucking control. It's one of those movies that kind of makes the characters wonder if they're crazy or not, and kind of takes the viewer through the ringer and all these different weird things that are happening, these different events with different characters, and makes you wonder what is true and what is happening pretty much the entire movie, which is actually pretty well done. I think it's actually done in a way that is not too revealing, and the reveal isn't exactly the most amazing thing, but it's still kind of interesting and very unique how this movie attempts to tackle it. In fact, some of the reason I really like not knowing what's going on is because it kind of makes you come up with your own ideas to what's going on, and how they sort of link science and religion together is kind of interesting. It's not perfect. It's a little sloppy-handed, but it at least percolates my brain to make me think of like, ooh, this is kind of interesting to mix these two. I could probably see this being like a TV series, honestly, because it has the potential of like more films, or at least more story and lore that you might want to dig into to find out why this is happening. As far as wanting to see a sequel, I mean, I'd probably be open to it, but I think this one's good enough on its own to just be condensed into one film. Keep you wondering, keep you guessing. I think a sequel would probably make this different. Now, just because I'm saying a sequel does not mean I'm going to give this movie like a high score. No. And for a teen movie, I was like, kind of like, wait, this says teen movie. Like, if you look on Netflix, it says teen movie, German teen movie. And this is way more than just a teen movie. Like, yeah, it has teens in it that are living in Germany and going to this elite school and stuff. And there's one sex scene in this movie that'll make you go, but yeah, get some. It's definitely not just a teen movie, so don't let that scare you off. At least try to soak it in a little bit and kind of just let the CGI kind of do its thing. Even though it's in the movie, it's not overdone. There are a few moments that you're going to be like, but you know, some things you need to do because they want to convey this certain thing that's happening. It's kind of violent. There's some pretty fucking gnarly stuff that happens in this movie that I was like, ooh, what are you doing? Like, don't do that. which is a bonus, is a good thing. There's a few of those tucked in there. There's a couple of moments that I was just like, what's going on? Like, how's this going to go? Are people going to be doing this and that? And I had all these theories, but by the end, I had no idea what it was going to be. Camera work is pretty decent. The acting seems pretty decent. The characters that are in it are definitely interesting enough to keep you following along. It's got a kind of a typical story built into this all over the place kind of idea that is actually quite interesting, and they kind of make it work. So they kind of make you feel comfortable by doing some of the sort of tropic sort of school stuff while kind of adding this like new element that you've never really seen before. It kind of falls into some of the normal tropes that you would see in these school movies, like The Faculty, or things that kind of get bigger and bigger and bigger as they are uncovered. So you'll expect that, but you will not probably expect what you're going to get by the end. Visually, I think it could have been a little bit more, like they could have spent a little bit more money on practical and done a few things, but it's not bad. And I love the mix of the physical that they do in this movie with like what the subject matter they're talking about and this religious sort of thing going on as well. You'll figure that out for yourself. But yeah, I would give this movie probably a 7.5 out of 10. It's definitely worth watching. It was really kind of pushing me into the 8 category, but I had to kind of step back a little bit and kind of analyze some of the critiques that I had about the negative stuff in the film. But I still think it's a really good attempt. I think it's something that might be higher for some and lower for others, as per usual, but I think this one might be on the higher end for most people. We'll see. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really unique, kind of different spin on sort of the things that we've seen before, so maybe it'll be for you. They call it a supernatural drama horror, so there's a lot more in it than that. You could probably categorize this thing in like 5 different subgenres, or I don't know, but not bad for Netflix. Actually, not a bad pick for them to put over on the streaming service. Makes me much happier. Am I like blown away? No, but still better than nothing. But at least they're trying to bring more horror to the streaming service. Still not Shudder, but I appreciate it. We can always do a little bit more horror, can't we? But yeah, guys, have you seen the trailer for this? Have you gotten a notification on your phone like I did and then just watched it and said, hey, what the fuck? Let's just do it. What did you think of this movie? Have you seen it? Have you not? Are you gonna see it? What did you think of this movie? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed this review, I have many more, and we're gonna be doing a lot more this year, of course. So stay tuned. I got another review coming up that I'm gonna try to work on today. So it'll be up today or tomorrow on a TV series called Archive 81. So be on the lookout for that. But other than that, thank you guys so much for stopping by. And as always, long live the void. Join us. Beyond.